sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. Hopefully we get a good coffee chat here. And I'm going to go get my lifting on. So these have been pretty good lately. We've got a decent amount of views, pretty good questions. Of course, it's Monday morning, so we'll see how all of this goes. And yeah, let me get these wish lists up for the Amazons. Make sure that we also got the volume high enough. It tends to turn my volumes down a lot on me. I don't know why. No, it's holding constant for now. I think we're good. And I think we're good. So all right. And yeah, no views on the tube yet. I know we set it to public. Did we not set it to public? Yeah, we're set to public. It's taking a moment. Usually we have people in here pretty quickly in coffee chats. I'm not sure. There we go. There's the first people. What's going on with this with the other spare phone? I see. Sorry, something coming through on my other spare phone. It's interesting. Sorry, it was like an automated alert thing. There we go. Views are coming in. Let's get some conversation. We get into some deep chats in these coffee ones. We've gotten into a lot of really interesting things. I got a video that's going to be up later. I made a status on it about the whole 75 hard thing. Man, that's its own topic. I almost feel like doing a whole live on that one at some point, maybe an afternoon one. My problems with this whole 75 hard thing, it's like, it's to me, it's ludicrous. And anyone perceives it as hard at all. Whether it's being spun as hard, that's the scary part. All right. That's the scary part, though, is that it's being pushed is difficult. And it's the most basic of fitness stuff. Like, to me, I already kind of do the way beyond that. For me is a normal. So like, I don't, how do I put it politely? I can't see myself scaling back to what 75 hard is. Like, to me, that would never, ever, ever, ever be enough for me to even maintain basic fitness. Like, I can't comprehend doing that little. But the rest of it, though, it's like it's not enough training. It's just like 45 minutes twice a week is ludicrous. I don't shave it every day. I need to shave it again. I do about every 3 days, but I need to totally shave it today. All right. I don't shave it every day. I really should. It's just too much work. I can tell that you're British, though, based upon your sentence structure without looking. But I always shocked, too. I always laugh the mornings versus afternoons, how much smaller my arms look fasted in the morning. They look like 2 inches bigger, and I get the big pinky-sized veins all the way up once I've eaten. It's this morning fast. It's kind of funny when I do these streams. Why is there no one on the tubes? This is weird. Normally I have tons of people in these. It's only 3 people watching. It's like no one in here. But no, Matt, I don't actually shave it every day. I said I should. I should. We'll see what happens with this coffee gen. I guess Monday mornings are a little different. It was strong every day this last week. Though. Wonder what's different today. I wonder what's different today. It's just not where it was. And I don't know for sure that I'm going to get an afternoon live, and I have so many things on my agenda today. I'll probably get one in. It just may be later than usual. We'll see. I'll get one in. But yeah, no, I mean the whole thing with the 75 hard eating you have to restart it if you have a cheat day or a cheat meal. You just 75 days, man. I don't have cheat days. I have cheat days on holidays. Like so, I don't understand why going 75 days of eating a clean diet is remotely not drinking alcohol. Well, if you 75 days without alcohol is difficult, you're an alcoholic. You need to be in Alcoholics Anonymous. You don't need 75 hard. You need to be in a program. All right. Working out twice a week. Are we serious? Like to me, this is ludicrous. But the problem is not that. It's that it's being called hard, and it's being told that it will make people hard and mentally tough. And it's like, if that would make you mentally tough, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's sad. Like to me, that's actually legitimately sad that anybody sees that as a high degree of discipline at all. So to claim that that's going to make you mentally tough is quite strange to me. It's really, really strange. It really is just like a minor introduction to basic fitness, but it's only working out twice a week. Like that's it. See the look on my face. I'm like, what? Like for anyone who already trains, you're going to regress. Like you're not going to maintain where you're at. Okay, I mean maybe, but you guys see the point. I either run or lift weights pretty much every day, and I don't have 45-minute work. There's no way I could get one of my workouts done in 45 minutes. So yeah, it's just very strange. Very strange that this is promoted as a thing. Hey coach, single-handed row versus double-handed row, which is best for big back development? A barbell row is going to be best. So are you talking dumbbells? You need to, okay, energize. Give me the name of real exercises, and I'll be happy to help you there. But here's the context. You didn't name a specific exercise. You just mentioned how many hands are being used. Like I like a one-arm dumbbell row sometimes. I think it could be a good supplemental lift, but barbell rows with a barbell are going to be a better overall back builder, than doing dumbbells at all. Right? So what is, according to me, the big three for back? Like what 3 exercises, according to every video I've made on it, will build a massive back for most people, and anything else is bonus. What are they? Barbell row, deadlift, weighted pull-up. All right, those 3. That's your trifecta. Okay. Anything else is just bonus. Hey, coach, how to deal with bullies? All it takes is a cock and a pop and money for bail, like Jarul said. What are you talking about? Deal with bullies. bullshit ass question is that? Why would anyone think it's even okay to bully you? I'm a little thrown off. Like, I can't help school kids, honestly, man. So if you're still in school, you can't carry a piece. You can't exactly pop them. But that usually sorts a bully pretty quick. Failing that, like with anything else, bullies only understand force. And that's how I dealt with them when I was a kid. So what? You get suspended. They got a broken nose. They don't want anything to do with you. So there's your solution. That shuts it down real quick. Done. Sorry, I've just never had to deal with that. On the internet is the only place I've had to deal with bullies. I just don't have a concept for this. I don't know how you're carrying yourself that people think it's okay to bully you. You're projecting some sort of a victim or weakness to them. You got to undo that. Thanks, Coach. I had to grow big. Yeah, seems like I'm too skinny. Patch, how old are you? Because you're asking about bullies. I'm assuming you're like 12 years old or something. I mean, which case, why are you dealing with bullies at 19? Yeah, you gotta fix the way that you're perceived. You've got to build yourself up because you're coming across as a victim. There's something in your energy with that. You're coming across as a victim. Um, well, answered. Yeah, fair enough. Energized on the back. Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, that's really what you need. It shocks me when people want to focus on other stuff. It's like I get it if you're trying to fine tune some stuff in your back, but you don't get a big back with these other things people recommend, right? Look how many of them don't have a back. The second people start talking about squeezing your back, I don't even need to see their back. I know if they're on less than 2 grams of test, they don't have a back, right? The second they start worrying about squeezing and contractions or angle of fibers, I know that's somebody with no back. Guaranteed. And it's true every time. Even one of these influencers, you see them doing that, I go, dude, I wouldn't be happy with your tiny back personally. You clearly don't know what you're doing at all. But usually that's a dead giveaway that someone has no back. Okay. Unless they have built it through enormous amounts of drugs. Those are the two giveaways. Someone who talks about squeezing and contracting your back. I know that dude has no lats. Or they start talking about the alignment of the pull of the fibers. As somebody with no back. Which again is very strange because it ignores human anatomy, doesn't it? It's on the other side of a joint. That line of pull doesn't mean anything through the whatever the hand or the arm. It's not meaningless. It has no meaning relative to the fiber alignment at all. Do you think volume dumbbell overhead press is better than volume barbell overhead press to build a strict press? Not necessarily, no. I don't see why it would be. All right. I don't see why it would be. right? I see no reason to think that it would. So like 5 by 10 on both, I'm thinking from a T. I don't think that you need, that's a lot. Hey, Daniel, I don't see your full program. This is not useful. You're just simply giving me a rep and set scheme. No, I don't have anybody do 5 sets of 10 on a compound movement. As generally speaking, I don't program that way. You know, right? I mean, if you use enough steroids, it would work. But 5 by 10 seems like a lot of junk volume on one movement. I mean, I could make a case for a curl or something maybe. But a compound movement? Are you able to sustain performance? Are you able to go to failure and maintain 5 sets of 10 with the same weight? You know, just put that in perspective. Saying 5 by 10 is a lot. And also, I have to question what is your overall routine? What is it? What type of programming are you using? You know, I would say, and I don't necessarily think that this is what you need to do. Um, your only other pressing is whether you're not benching at all. So, how often are you pressing? You know, how often are you pressing? I'm not saying you couldn't do some rep work with dumbbells, but 5 by 10, no, that's a lot. You could do 3 sets of like 8 to 10 once a week or something like that. And that would help. But you're going to build a heavy overhead press by heavy overhead pressing. Yeah. That's one of those movements that the rep work just does not transfer to the singles, right? The technique and setup are so dramatically different on a strict press. The technique that you use for higher reps will not carry over, in my experience, on that particular exercise. It's just such a dramatically different setup and bar path. So you're really just building muscle for it at that point, because the bar path is not going to be the same. So assuming you build the muscle, I mean, it really is about the heavy lifting. Like maybe do triples, and you can build muscle with triples too. There's a lot of ways you can go with that, Daniel. Yeah, a few different ways you could go. You guys hit the like button. We have more people commenting than we have likes in here. That's not good for the algo, guys. We got to pick that up a notch. Good morning, Coach. What's up, Rupio? Well, at least it's been all training questions so far. It's been interesting. There we go. Rupio threw a like up. We had 3 people commenting and 2 likes. I can't believe that. And we're 20 minutes in. This is a slower coffee chat, man. I guess Monday mornings are different for people. Right? It's Monday mornings. Well, make sure my Facebook one's coming along. Yep. Drop your like a tell them review. Let's make this a lively one. This one's been slow. Too much for YouTube comment, but I can literally only train 3 days in a row every 7 days due to brutal night work schedule. 3-day full body with minimal overlap, 1 volume, 1 athletic, 1 intensity. Okay. All right. Just keep in mind with that sort of rotation, you're not going to have too much volume because you're not going to recover. You're not going to be able to have tons of overhead volume in there, you know. So yeah, you're definitely not doing 5x10. Although I don't think 5x10 in general is too much. Yeah, I don't know how I would program that. Honestly, I can't program the full thing in a live stream. I mean, I could coach you if you needed, but yeah. So I'm assuming you have a heavy overhead day and then you're doing supplemental on the other. Do you think young guys should try and get massive at least once in their life just to experience how it feels to be brutally big? I don't think that necessarily. Because think about that question, Rufio. Do you mean get fat? What do you mean just once in your life? Like if they're not blasting, so you're asking should they use steroids? Rufio. Because getting big drug free isn't just a hey once in your life. That's like a 15-year commitment. So you see what I'm saying, guys? So do you mean just bulk up and get really fat massive? Or do you mean actual muscle? So no, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, Rufio. Because they're dedicating 15 years of their life. Is not just a hey, do something once real quick. So if you're talking about they're 20 years old, they really put in the work, they'll get there at 35. Coaches, you got to appreciate it, Peppermint. And I guess 35 is still young. Right? It's still young. Yeah, I'll have that video up on 75 hard here later. 35. And I said that before, and I had someone like you say, well, have you tried it? And I'm like, you want me to scale down? That's like asking someone who squats 500 pounds, well, have you tried 225? Have you tried 135? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's called a warm up. What are you talking about? I don't even see how it's a challenge. Oh, 75 days without a cheat meal or alcohol. Jesus Christ. I don't get how that is supposed to be difficult. Then you need to be an Alcoholics Anonymous. You're an alcoholic if that's difficult. You are a full-blown addict. If you think that it's hard to go 75 days without alcohol. This is not even a discipline issue. It's not hard at all. Yeah. So that's why to me, I look at this and go, this is just But then look at the training end, right? Look at the training end. Work out for 45 minutes twice a week. Are we serious? How out of shape are these people? But let's come back over to that point of how is this going to make you hard? Like to do the most basic of 45, like we're pretending that this is going to make you hard. You see my face. I'm like, I don't even think what I do is that hard. I deadlift 3 days a week. I run 3 or 4 days a week. It's like these are not hard. My last cheat day was on Christmas last year. I haven't had alcohol in over 6 years. So to me, this is just ridiculous. Like I'm simply not seeing the discipline. This is so, you guys see what I'm saying? I'm simply not seeing it. And that's fine if you want to call it a basic primer to start getting in shape. 75 pussy. Okay. But you guys see the point I'm going to make, and I'll have that video up. It's already done. I'm more articulate in it. You're not doing yourself any favors calling simple things hard. This is not how you succeed. When you're teaching elementary school kids, do you tell them addition is really hard? This is going to be really hard for you to learn. This is difficult. Or do you sit down or do they show them, look, see how easy this is, right? So the whole premise is flawed. The entire premise is flawed. They're going to make a bunch of pussies is what they're going to make. Because it's telling them that they're going to be hard if they do this difficult set of regimented stuff. And it's like, this is not actually difficult. Since I'm trying to avoid the fitness community, can we not talk about that disgusting revolting fat fuck screaming all over my screen with giant rolls of blubber everywhere? But I mean, that's what you're doing. So people are glorifying revolting levels of obesity. So his fans and followers are glorifying disgusting, unhealthy, deadly amounts of obesity. Like, does anybody think that that's remotely acceptable? But it's not even entertainment. It is literally glorifying death and obesity. Right? Yeah, man. Come on, guys. Yeah. So you have a really, really fat guy throwing around bad form while screaming. I'm assuming you've all seen Idiocracy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Ruth, you have no idea what you're talking about, so let's probably not go there. I don't even know the reference. Next follower. So yeah. But so when I see something like the karaoke, so we could discuss that as a social topic, not a fitness one. I see something like the Karaoke's Grizzly as this is idiocracy unfolding before us. You know, the degeneration, the devolution of the human race right there. You know, I didn't know the guy actually speaks. He said, I thought he just screams and throws shitty weights around, and it's fat. Um, yeah, let's not discuss him. I think I know who you might be talking about. Um, yeah, no. But I mean, what are we talking? Like, what are we looking at with philosophical? Like, what? I wouldn't be concerned with what the philosophy is of a person who can't use basic form on exercises and is revoltingly fat. I mean, what is his philosophy? Let's die of a heart attack. No, I mean, I've got to look at that and go, that's it. Is that his philosophy? His philosophy is we need a triple bypass. But what character? Someone who is so fat that they weigh over 400 pounds, what character is it that we believe that they have? What discipline is it that we believe that they have? You know? All right. Do you think push pull splits are better than push pull leg splits? I don't know, Benjamin. I think all the benefits of splits are psychological in nature. So without knowing your psychology and mindset, I can't answer that. Let me be clear. I don't think that there's physical benefits to splitting your training up. It's psychological in nature. So, right? It's psychological in nature. Right? No, I don't think it needs to go in the spam filter. It's too much. But man. Hey Benjamin, do I think it's the best? So I don't know what are we looking for here? No, what I'm saying is all splits are done for psychological organization reasons, anyways. Right? When we start using words like best, I don't know. I think that's going to be difficult to quantify. You know, that is a more modern concept. Like no one had that concept in the 50s or 60s, really, or the 50s even. Like back then, physical culture didn't think in those terms; they just trained the body. You know? So keep in mind the concept of splitting stuff too much. You really are getting into bodybuilding at that point, because an athlete doesn't think in terms of splitting the body up. Really, they might have sport specific drills and movement patterns, but outside of that, they're not really thinking in those terms. So I suppose it depends on the direction you're coming from. You know. But I have clients who enjoy splits. I have clients who still like push pull legs, and so we do. They enjoy it. And it works for them, and we do it. But I started with full body here, and I'm back around. I've come around full circle. Oh, sorry, guys. Come around full circle. What a strange comment. Well, he's technically passed, so you're going to vilify a dead man who was murdered. And you're not even going to use your real name, you're going to hide it. What does this say about you? Coach, we exercise our bodies and minds, but do you think it's also important to exercise the spirit? Sure, but how do we do that? You know, I mean, that's its own set of topics. I'm not going to run a religious channel here per se, but I think those things tie together. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The guy's going to come in here anonymously and slander a dead man. I can't see that Charlie really did anything bad when I look. I didn't necessarily agree with him on everything, but I didn't see anything that he did as bad. I didn't see anything that I saw him say in a debate coming through my feed as bad. And I know plenty of black people who follow him who didn't feel he was racist. I've had a conversation with one. So, well, I'm not going to go into the whole topic with George Floyd or mocking a dead person, but I mean, if you want to talk about someone who is objectively a bad person, right? You don't got to go much further. I mean, the man robbed a pregnant black woman at gunpoint while pointing a firearm at her pregnant belly. Just saying, you know, I think that that's pretty bad. Coach, what are your thoughts on a side bench having weak arm? I don't understand what you're asking me, dude. Right. Yeah, clown. Exactly, peppermint. Like for coaching, you won't appreciate it, Carol. Also, he hit Facebook up too. Appreciate it, Carol. But yeah, I mean, objectively speaking, step back and look at that. Suicide. Oh, no, I don't. I don't recommend you use that grip type. I've done whole videos on why we grip the bench the way that we do. So go watch my videos on bench grip. Right. Mm-mm. That's definitely not going to help your forearm strength to do that. So why do you have weak forearm strength? Once you fix your forearms, there's your solution. All right. Everyone like. Appreciate it, Septosh. You know. Well, here's the thing. Stop. The situation in Israel is pretty complicated, dude. You know, to be fair, I know people on both ends of that argument who are pretty passionate, and that is such a complicated topic. I don't think you can necessarily demonize a person for their positions on that one, given the sheer complexity of that situation, um, and the amount of confusion out there on both ends. You know, just the sheer amount of confusion on that topic alone, and strong opinions out there. I think that's one. I think that's one that confuses a lot of people in general. You know, boy, what a mess. What a mess that is. If doing legs all in one workout, is it better to quad all in one go and then hamstrings all in one go? I mean, Benjamin, what do? I squat and then I deadlift. No, I think you could alternate a bit. But how much are you doing? I mean, that's again, no, I wouldn't generally do it that way. Even if you're going to do a leg day, I'm a squat, bench, deadlift, pull up. I may do some curls. I'm definitely going to do triceps. I might do some curls. Thinking about it, I might just double down and just do arm work today. I'm going to box squat though instead of back squat. I want to work box. I built my 500 squat back up with box squats. What do I recommend for forearms? Pull without straps. There you go. Deadlifts, pull-ups, rows without straps. If you need to, hammer curls. But if your forearms are a limit on your bench, man, you definitely haven't been doing enough pulling, because that should cover that. How come classic linear progression got me slow gains, but as soon as I went to Bugenhagen, so I'm maxing out over to hit PRs? Because you trained your nervous system and your neural drive with maxing out. You probably already built a base with the linear progression. Keep in mind, that's novice stuff. Linear progression isn't something you do after the novice phase, dude. Come on. Benjamin says, I just feel more athletic doing full body workouts. Plus, if you miss a workout, at least you trained everything. All right. Fair, but that's not what you're writing about a leg day above. So you kind of were asking me about the exact opposite. Max says, I want a stronger neck. Rows help. You know. I've done plenty of stuff where I did tons of maxing too, Brave. I don't have a problem with that training style personally. But just keep in mind, linear progression is for ranked novices, you know. Well, stop. I don't know, man. Who burned cities? You got to ask that question. Who was burning all the cities and rioting a few years ago? Right. Yeah, don't text and drive, Rodney. You know, who burned all those cities? Who was rioting out in the streets? And no, I don't support the January 6th thing either. I think that's pretty bad. You know. I'm not going to go into BM Lives Matter. I'm not really going to address that one a lot. I'm going to go get some coffee, though. I'll be right back. Yeah, some of those are topics I'm going to mostly steer away from. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Jason. What's up, Ryan and Facebook? Getting your workout in early? Awesome, man. Of course, send me over that footage. I got to get mine up and going here soon, too. I said, I'm going to have a fairly busy day. I got a couple different things I have to fix. I got to take care of in person with other people. So I don't know that I'm going to get an afternoon live in. We'll see. I might be able to squeeze one in before I wind down. Well, I was hoping for a really good coffee chat today, but this one's going to be slow. What's a good alternative to Primo and Master? There isn't. Good luck with that, Charlie. For their purpose, there is no good alternative. Plus, I'm in Facebook, by the way, so we don't really do gear chat. If you want gear consultations, you're going to have to pay for those, Charlie. I do plenty of them, but because I'm streaming on all this stuff, I'm not going to be doing gear stuff in here, especially with my Facebook going to. However, if you would like to hire me for a consultation, I do plenty of them. So they're $100. You get in a call and I can discuss whatever you need on the topic, including trends of what's happening with the black market and everything. But as far as live stream conversations, yeah. Yeah, it's very quiet today. Coach, how do you keep your voice in top form? You do a lot of talking. I mean, like everything else, good diet, sleep, good nutrition. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. That helps. But I have to do hours of talking because it's not just here. I do calls. I do hour-long client calls and consultation calls. I don't think people realize how much I have to talk. I'm not going to lie. When I saw you go, what are you talking about? Coach, should I stop doing behind the neck presses as rotator cuff issue seems to not bother it as much front presses, but I don't know. If it's not bothering it, then keep going. But what do you mean rotator cuff issues? Which one of your rotator cuffs? People have a really bad habit of using a rotator cuff in the wrong context. They blame all shoulder pain on a rotator cuff. And then when you ask them which rotator cuff, they don't know. I just feel shoulder pain. Okay, well, that doesn't mean it's any of your 4 rotator cuffs. No review. No one has ever offered me any work of any type from my YouTube stuff. You know, no one in any mainstream endeavor, whether it's sports or radio or television, has ever reached out to me in my entire career at all for anything. So that'll close it down. I get asked things like that. Has any sports teams? Is any profession? It's like, yeah, no. No one has ever reached out from anywhere. Unless it was, hey, we want to send you a massager to review. No. Those are right between the traps and the delts. Okay. Was full body the norm? Yeah, splits didn't even come out until maybe the late 60s. No one had ever heard of a split. What about school? Did they ask you to do the pep rallies? I don't even remember pep rallies, actually, Rodney. No, I wasn't known for my speaking like I am now. Do you track macros or just, what do you mean? Peppermint pep rally is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's for sports stuff when you're kids. I barely remember pep rallies. What are you reporting my channel for exactly? There are people who report my channel and hate me every day, dude. How am I racist? Do you not know what the word racism means? Are you not familiar with the word? I know you have it in your thing. So I'm going to define racism for you. Racism means that you believe that one race of people is superior to another or has more value. So could you explain to me, since you're calling my channel racist, could you explain to me which races I believe are inferior or superior to others? Like, I'll wait, because nothing I've said would indicate that. All right, let me come over, guys. Do you buy creatine or use a chaser? I'm literally just on a replacement dose of TRT. All right. Oh, let's just get rid of this guy. Yeah, we don't need it. What? Injection marks on whose thighs? Are you talking about me? I don't even pin my TRT in my thighs. I pin it in my glutes. If you were to suddenly stop training legs, would you feel weaker and less athletic? Feel? Or would I literally be weaker and less athletic? Right? I wouldn't just feel, I would literally be weaker and less athletic. All right. Bigs ups, blah, blah, blah. Blaha buoy is what he called me. I only dedicate to training legs about 3 months out of the year. What? Joseph, listen. Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy, I can't support that nonsense. You may not like my channel a whole lot since I squat and deadlift 3 days a week. What are you talking about, dude? You only train once, legs 3 months out of the year. Benjamin, if you were forced to pick between stopping training the upper and lower body, which would you choose? 3 to the chest to the guy making me pick one. Done. Then I could keep training both. Yeah, Jimmy, I don't know, man. I don't think you're gonna like my channel too much, dude. This may not be your cup of tea. Give me his Kevin Leather on soccer now. No, I use Nair on my legs, dude. Is it possible to overdevelop the spinal erectors? No, absolutely not. All right, guys. I might go ahead and wind this one down. This one's going, it's all going kind of slow. So I might go ahead and wind it down. We'll see if we can get I'll try to get a longer one in this afternoon. I think that'll work. So let me go ahead and end the Facebook. So we got close to an hour, and yeah, if my schedule allows for it today, I'll try to work in an evening one. But I got to get ready to get my training done. I got to get my trash out, all that stuff. So we're out. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.